Welcome back. Now that you know how to solve systems of equations, let's look at how systems apply to some real-world situations, or basically we're looking at word problems. Now, as you recall from learning linear equations, most word problems can either be written in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, or standard form, ax plus by equals c. Okay, we use slope-intercept form if there's a one rate and the beginning point. And we use standard form if there are two rates and a total value. The same is going to apply when we look at systems of equations. So let's take a look at our first one. In our first equation, or in our first problem, we've got Matt who is planning to rent a car while he's on vacation. He's got two companies he's looking at, and the first company is going to charge him an insurance fee of $50.10 per mile, and Company B charges him an insurance fee of $20.12 per mile. And we want to know at what cost will each of these companies be the same, so that it doesn't matter which company he would choose. Now, if you think about this, okay, each company is going to be their own equation. So each company has their own starting point and their own rate or repeating value. So we're going to write our equations in slope-intercept form. So the equation for company A would be y equals, our rate is 10 cents. So we're going to do 10 cents for every mile. I'm going to use M for miles, plus $50. We only have to pay that $50 insurance fee once. Now company B is going to be charging us $20 and a rate of 12 cents per mile. So the equations are set up identically. And once they're set up, we can use substitution to solve our equations. We've got two y equals equations. So remember, we use those three columns. And it doesn't matter which one we put in the first column. Let's just put the first one here. And we'll put the second equation in the third column. From here, what we can do is we can take out the y and replace y with 0.10 m plus 50. Now we can solve for m, okay? And this is going to give us the miles for each, so that we know which companies, let me start over. We know the miles that both companies will cost the same once we solve for m. So let's subtract 10 cents m from both sides. $50 equals 0.02 m plus 20. Now when we subtract 20, we get 30 equals 0.02 m. And yes, we have a decimal, but we can divide. We can use our calculator to do 30 divided by 0.02. And we find out that at 1,500 miles, 1,500 miles, both companies are going to cost the same amount. Let's find out what that amount is. So y equals 0.10 times 1,500 plus 50. And that's going to be $150 plus 50. So both companies would cost $200 if you drove 1,500 miles. Let's look at one more example of a word problem using systems of equations. Here we've got Maria and Jose, and they set up a Mexican food stand every weekend. They sell tacos for $1 each and hot chimichangas for $2.50. And last weekend they sold 200 items and earned $320. We want to know how many of each item they sold. So if we take a look at this example, I hope you're thinking, hey, this one has two rates. We have a rate for tacos and a rate for chimis. So this one would be in standard form. That is exactly right. So we would have X for tacos plus $2.50 for every chimichanga equals, well, this is money plus money always equals more money, so $320. But this is only one equation. There's one amount that we haven't used yet. Do you see it? 200 items. Now, what kind of items were they selling? Well, they were selling tacos and chimis. So if we take all of the tacos that they sold plus all of the chimis that they sold, that would equal 200. Now we can solve this system by using elimination. It's set up and what we could do is cancel our x values by multiplying by -1. So our top equation would stay the same, 1x plus 250y equals 320. The bottom equation is going to change. -x minus y equals -200. Here our x's cancel. We get 1.5y equals 120. We can divide by 1.5 to find out how many chimichangas were sold. So y would equal 90, I believe it's 90 chimichangas. Let me double check my calculations here. 120 divided by 1.5. Oops, see, I was wrong. That's why I'm glad I checked. It's 80 chimichangas. That makes more sense. So now if we have 80 chimis and we know we sold a total of 200 items, how many tacos were sold? Well, it would have to be 120 tacos because 120 plus 80 is 200. Thank you, and I hope this helps you understand word problems as they apply to systems of equations.